I feel like I've been trying to put my hair in braids as my protective style, so I think I'm gonna do that. And I also have some dishes to do. I'm sad about it, but I feel like if I get my hair together, maybe doing the dishes won't be so hard. But I definitely want to just come here and talk a little bit of shit. I know I was here earlier, did a tarot card reading, did a little tarot party. I have another one coming up soon. I'm not sure when, maybe Sunday night after I kick it with everybody. I think it's gonna be like a super late night Leo party. Hey, bitch, I wish I was coming to Vegas, but I heard people was passing out there. Are you doing okay out in Vegas? Because I have not heard no good reports. I've heard a lot of people experiencing a lot of like heat exhaustion. Actually, maybe that was just a Beyonce concert day. Who knows? But I remember people saying they was passing out there. Oh, you in Vegas too? Oh my God, Chili, you're here. I'm about to do a little protective style and just kick it. It's been a minute. I know, bitch. It's been depression and bed rotting, honestly. Like, rotting in my bed has just felt so good. And like I told you, I started watching Power again, so that shit kind of sucked me in a little bit. I'm doing my best. How about you? How about y'all? 15 years, super hot in the summer, always heard you. Heard you. Yeah, no, me personally, I don't like the heat. I don't know if I could do extreme cold. Like, I really wish there was somewhere that was like moderate temperature wise, but I don't think that exists anymore, especially at this level of like, colonization. Yeah, no. Again, I feel like I'm just in that at that point where I'm just realizing how much of a slumlord my landlord is. And like I already knew she was a slumlord when I first moved in, but it's like things are getting worse. Like our toilet broke, which is really sad. Like the flusher, and like we have to go and fix it, and like we don't want to call her. Like that's how much we don't fuck with her, because like she doesn't care. Like things were happening. Like when we found out, like there's just so many things. I don't even want to go into it because it's traumatic, honestly, at this point to think about like how much stuff like you have to fight for, and like it's like a real apartment. Like it's not a squat. Like I really live here, and it's just crazy how like I was living in a squat for months, and it was so much nicer, and I paid not $1 other than my bills to live there. And it's the way that like there's a rent here that's almost most of what was supposed to be paid at the last place, and the amount she's offering, it's just like I'm like I can't wait to leave so I can go on Zillow and be like, do not rent, do not rent. She's a slumlord. And the person that lives behind the house is very weird about the backyard because he thinks because he lives in the back part of a house that's cut into three pieces, that that's his backyard, which is awkward as fuck. Because it's like, why would someone want to live somewhere in a neighborhood with a backyard and not ever get to go into it? That's something you should probably fucking tell people before they rent. And it's the way the fucking dude in the back was trying to make sure that I knew not to go back there, but he did it in such an ugly little way. And it's like it's just weird. It's like it's the way that he like avoids communication, and it's bizarre. Because I remember the one time we spoke, I was like, "Oh, I was like, this backyard's really nice," and he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I would let you use my grill, but you can't use my smoker." And it's like, bro, I don't want to use anything of yours. Like it's just awkward the way he was trying to set boundaries about such stuff that I didn't even know existed, and I didn't even want access to. Like it's the way that he was really trying to let me know, like you could do something on the grill, but you can't touch my trigger. And it's like, girl. Like you already setting boundaries with stuff. I didn't even ask. I didn't even ask for anything. I just wanted to go back there and have some privacy outside. And it's the way he was really letting me know, like, oh, the people that lived there before used to be outside in the front. I'm like, who the fuck in a residential area want to be out front in there? Like, and then, bitch, fuck everything. You know what? She about to get it though. I don't have to do nothing to her, because it's the way that there's like a bee's nest, like in the porch, like to the point where like I was sitting out there for a second and the bees were letting me know, like, nah, bitch, like this is our shit. And it's like, oh damn. So now she gonna have to deal with trying to tell people, and that's why she moved people in the middle of fucking winter, bitch. It's all strategic, I truly believe, because she took down the for sale sign for up there like right when the weather got nice and all the bugs start showing up, because this place got a lot of holes in it. So it'd be ants in here, bitch, fucking spiders, so many fucking spiders. Motherfucking, there's mad mosquitoes in the front of the house at night. Girl, it's bad. Mm-mm-mm. And wasps, bad bees, real bad bees. Like I would be so fucking for real. Like I was trying to sit outside earlier and the bees bullied me. Like they were like, get in the house, bitch. And I was like, oh my God. And it was fucking yellow jackets. I'm not gonna talk to them too long. I'm gonna get the fuck out of their way. But it's like, you ever try to just sit on your porch and it's not possible because bugs? Like, girl, that's what I'm dealing with. And so yeah, I hate this place so much. But I was telling Dane the other day, I was like, even though we hate this place, like we still have to be at home here in some ways. Like we've been trying to just act like we don't live here for real, and it's so sad because like we both are just used to living in chaos, but it's like we are really here. Like we have to live in it. Like even it, like it's just the way we're trying to like not be all the way here. It's just not realistic. Like this is where we live, and it's not comfortable. And I feel like us knowing that is gonna help us move on. And he's already looking at new apartments. I'm so fucking grateful because my brain is just mush. But it's been cute. It's definitely been really cute. Trying to just dream of where else to go. We've been talking about how we know for the future we cannot live anywhere without in-house laundry because that's not about to be realistic. Like we're not those people. We can't go to a laundromat at this point in life. We're just not those people. No shade to anybody who gotta go to a laundromat. I'm just saying like we cannot do it. Like it's not realistic. We need laundry way quicker than waiting a week. We're not wait a week people to wash our laundry. We just can't do it. And again, it's the ways that like there's just so much. There's just so much that goes into living, bitch, and I'm so tired. But I'm grateful. I'm grateful because I know I don't have to do it by myself. Like I'm describing doing something with somebody else, doing something together in community, bitch. Yeah, no, I need laundry in the house. Like I can't. Like I need a dishwasher. Like I can't. Like I'm realizing the amount of food that I cook, the amount of snacks that I have, I need a dishwasher. It's not possible. No, my landlord is dick. Redfin and Realtor, thank you. And again, it's the ways that like she took the for sale sign for the upstairs down when it started getting buggy out here. And it's the way we thought someone was gonna move in upstairs, but of course not. Like, and I really wonder what the back of the house is like for that dude. It must be great. He must be happy. And it's just the way that like I just feel like he is benefiting the most, and this is just the extra money she makes from scamming people out of thinking that it's just a little one bedroom come up, you know? And it's nothing of the sort. Like I cussed her out and she ain't say shit back, and she usually talks. But I was like, "What?" I was like, "I already realized that you're a scumlord, and and you know, this is a slum. Like I realized this already, but you should be ashamed of yourself." I'm like, "Cause this is crazy." I'm like, some of the stuff. I'm not even gonna tell you all of it, because it's like if I told you all of it, you'd be like, "That's insane." But check your windows before you move in anywhere, cause I didn't, and I found out the hard way that none of them fucking open except for one, and it's one of those like it rolls open. You can't just quickly open a window, and like the kitchen is so tiny. I did not think about how a half size stove isn't cooking anything in the time that you think. Like it's the way that like cooking is already tedious, but now I have to like adjust all the times for anything I want to cook, which means that I never know if I'm gonna burn something. And I already don't know because I be high. So on top of being high, now I have to cook everything for in like 5 minute increments. Like every 5 minutes I have to check what's happening in the oven because it could be bad. And like that, like again, I'm telling you the easy shit to tell people, but it's just, it's depressing. And I think a spider walked on me last night and I want to throw up still. It's like I felt myself like squish it into my face, I think. And then also, bitch, why the fuck was I watching like Hereditary videos? The movie Hereditary, I'm not saying watch it, it's very scary. But bitch, why did I have a hereditary dream last night? I have not dreamed in so long. Like I don't dream. I don't really dream. I don't have many dreams. When I sleep, I may not be an REM. I don't know. But I usually don't dream. But bitch, it's the way that I this is gonna sound crazy as fuck. I was about to be sacrificed to the goddamn demon pieman, bitch, or payment or whatever the fuck. I was offering my body, and I remember thinking to myself, I really shouldn't be doing this. And like I kept telling myself, like, you can't do this. Like you can't become the demon. It's not real. Like you can't do it. And I remember like at some point, like all the old white people a share a dream. Tell me more, bitch. But thank you so much, Nunu. Like you're so smart, and I really appreciate you for saying that. Because honestly, like I didn't think about that at all, and now I'm in a place where there's a fire hazard and there's a fucking what you call it in here, a fire extinguisher. But it's like, girl, like God forbid I don't get out that door fast enough. Like it's too much, and like. I feel like in survival, you're not checking the windows. I hate that. So hear me out. I'm like in the house, like with all the old people. And in this dream, this is obviously set up before the movie because the old woman, the grandmother, is there. And she, like, at some point, they told me, like, in 20 minutes, you cannot speak any longer. And I remember at some point, some of my teeth fell out, but they fell out in like a bridge. It's almost like I had fake teeth that were like coming out. And I had seen a video on YouTube earlier that night or last night where a man had like, he had lost some teeth and he was playing with like a bridge, like one of those denture pieces, and playing with it in his mouth. But in the dream, like three or four of my teeth fell out in a row attached to bone. And like, I don't know why, but I started showing everyone in the house that some of my teeth were falling out and they didn't care. They kept going, closing their ears. They didn't want to hear what was happening. And I tried to like, and I was using my teeth to try to show them like, I can't be the demon. I can't be the sacrifice. I'm falling apart. I'm dying. I'm decaying right now. And then this white man came at me with a fucking, I want to say it was like a cane. Like he came at me with a spear of some sort. And on the table, there was an umbrella. And I just remember being like, I just looked at him dead in his face. And I was like, I'm poor as fuck. I'll fucking kill you right now. I have nothing to live for. There's nothing for me. I'll fucking kill you. And he backed the fuck up off me. And I just remember like walking out of the house. Like I woke up very soon after, but I made it out. Like nobody wanted to fight me. Everybody was like, even though they told me to be quiet, all of a sudden that like it just like as soon as they realized I wasn't gonna be the host, they were all mad and they were all reacting to me very strongly and aggressively, like they were trying to kill me. And it obviously in retrospect, they weren't willing to kill me. They still wanted me to be the sacrifice. But it's the way that I told them, like, I will kill you. Like you don't have to worry about trying to kill me, bitch. You're done. And they were like, fuck it, go. But it's the way that like I don't know why I was a part of it. I don't know why I was even fucking there. I don't remember that. I just remember them like trying to at first in the beginning of everything, they were trying to be like, oh yeah, you're the sacrifice, do. And like where they had me sign stuff, like it was really crazy. But it's like at some point they're like, you can't talk for the next 20 minutes. And that's when I started realizing like, nah, and like my teeth fell out. Crazy as fuck. Very wild dream. I mean, I did challenge the dream. I definitely did. I'm crying at you having a share dream. That's ridiculous, but live life. You said don't watch The Terrifier. Tell me more. Tell me more, because I won't watch it. But yeah, no, I really feel like that dream was very much induced by me watching the deep dive on Hereditary before I went to sleep. And I only watched the deep dive because I wanted to just remember the movie a bit because I remember not liking it. I didn't like it, but then I found out a bunch of white people love it, and I'm like, that's so fascinating. Like, why do y'all love this movie? And I think in the end, I don't want to say I know why white people like it. I'm not doing that, but I'm just saying like in the end, like the movie is so much about like what your family makes you, like what your family sets up for you, things that are already in motion before you're even born, the ways that some family members have mental health issues that are unchecked and untested, and they show up in you, and that's part of like your pain in the family is like you being unwell in a way that they won't relate to, despite them being part of it, despite like y'all being part of each other, like the ways that like you can be part of the family but feel alone, like the ways that you can all be in the same house, but you all have very different ways of existing. And no one ever, like, there's no one in the family that's job is to make sure we all get along or we're all going to connect well. There's no one that exists for that. And that's no one's job. And it's the ways that we all need it. It's the way that family therapy should be a standard, but is it? No. And so I feel like that movie reminds me that like there are things that happen in families before you're even thought of, before you even exist. And there's been lines crossed and boundaries set and raised and tension and pain that you'll never know about really. And it's the way you can feel it in the family. It's the way you can feel it the way they don't call this person, the way this person don't ever come to the event, the way these people don't talk to these people, the way this person can't talk to that person. All of these lines drawn in the fucking sand before you even got there. And it's like who heals that? And the elders that don't heal that, how do they show you how? Again, I think the story is very terrifying and sad, but at its core, it's about how some of us were born to be something. We weren't born to just be, and how terrifying that is in many ways. Like the ways that like some of us, we know that we know that we're only loved when we do well in school. We know that we're only loved when our family member thinks like, we are beautiful. Like the ways that people treat us like our our only worth is what they can get from us or show. It's Friday. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't appreciate Shira Seven. I think she's a weirdo, and so I really hope that you like cleanse your space. Like honestly, like the fact that Shira Seven came up in your mind is terrible, and I'm genuinely sorry to hear any of that. Truly, like I just every time I see her content, I'm like, yikes. Cause again, it's the way that like when you're older, like you have so much power. And I forget that sometimes that like when you've lived a while on this earth, people will really think that you know something just because you're alive and as old as you are. Not trying to be ageist, just saying. Like some people will listen to me because they think that I know something. But the reality is some of us go through stuff at a young age and we have something to share too. But it's the way that Shira talks like she's somebody's mama, and it's just like, girl, you're anti-black as fuck, and I really pray that you like take a break, cause like the last thing I seen was her talking about type 4 hair, natural hair, men don't like it, and I'm like, Shira, you're married. I just feel like between me and you, I mean no shade when I say this, but if you're married, you really shouldn't give no dating advice, no romantic advice. I'm not trying to be mean. There's only so much you can really give in that situation. You're not dating these men. You at the house protected by one man. Shut the fuck up. Like I'm so sorry, but I'm tired of the elders lying. Like some of these elders are and low key, a lot of the elder dating advice, they're giving you sex work tips. And it be blowing me. Cause some of these elders, like they're telling you how to like find a trick. They're telling you how to find a trick. They're not teaching you how to find an equal partner. And to be honest with you, if they really wanted to create some content for somebody, wouldn't it be for the men that are failing to show up in equality and equity? Like when you really think about it, who got the problem dating? Not these women. a lot of them are learning how not to date. Like a lot of women are actually learning like how to stay away from motherfuckers. So that's why I'm just sitting here like, Shira, like, why are you catering to women? But I know why. Because she's looking for women who are so desperate for love that they'll listen to a woman who doesn't have the information. She's married to an elder man who I'm pretty sure cheated on his wife to be with her. She's really the last person you should be asking about love and relationships at all. But again, having a dream about her sounds terrifying. Alex, are you a man? Because we are low key talking about men. Not even that we want to, but that's what we're talking about right now. We're talking about masculinity and the failure of men to be partners to women, and women feeling like the failure is on them the whole time. What did they do wrong other than open up their heart to somebody that wasn't ready to hold it? And so that's where I'm at. I feel like a lot of these women, content creators that I see, a lot of them are worried as fuck about not getting a man, and so they won't make certain content anymore. And it's unfortunate because any man that feels a way about content, about his behavior and his fellow men's behavior, I just feel like he's not to be trusted. Because why can't he sit in that discomfort without making you feel bad? Like it's a lot of men that won't sit in like the pain that they've caused or other men have caused. And it's unfortunate as fuck because again, it's the ways that like I wish more men realized that like when y'all or other men abandon women, children, like that's what sets up a lot of us to like not trust men. Like a lot of us really have seen so much male abandonment, pain, violence, trauma, abandonment. Like it's to the point where so many of us just don't have it. And so the men that are getting fucked are the men that are acknowledging that they too are a man. That they're not different, that maybe they're unlearning right now, but that we shouldn't trust men. The men that are getting pussy right now are the men that know that men are not shit and that men should not be fighting for men unless it's to talk to them, to fighting to talk to them about their behavior as in community, not as above, but as in community with. Exactly. And that's another thing too. It's like is it misandry or is it anti-patriarchy? Like that's where I'm at. Like I think like I remember I seen what did I see? I seen a video where a bunch of women whose men were trying to who were attempting to baby trap them not only got left with the kids, but had to pay child support to the woman that carried them. Like they owed back child support, so they had to pay before they could get paid. This shit was beautiful. But again, it's the way that that's devastating, of course. But for that woman, I'm so glad that she got free. Like there are women who are like, you know what? Like I'm thinking about what's his name? Judge Mathis, bitch. Why Judge Mathis is going through a fucking divorce and somebody said after 39 years, he could go and sleep in another room. Like, we ain't got to get divorced. And I was dying laughing. But it's like, bitch, it's the way after 39 years. Imagine being like, it's easier to start over. It's just such a drag on men that because it's like, sweetie, like after 39, I know he didn't file it. Mm. Um, Alex, I'm not even sure. Oh, you know what, Alex? You reminded me of that video where a bunch of men were talking about how they don't like their wife, how they think their wife is ugly, and if they had more money, they would be with somebody else. And it's just sad to think that there are men out there who are settling to get resources. Like they're not interested at all. They just want to use someone. And it makes me sad because it makes me think of the times that I know that like I've been someone that in retrospect I was using that person to feel good about being, not being single. I was using that person to feel like I'm being loved. And while there was some benefits monetarily, there was so much I was willing to pour in because of what they were pouring in, not considering that like I didn't know myself enough to be in that situation, and like how sometimes people are just hanging out with each other, just losing time. They're not really connecting. And so I think about that too, that like there's so many women realizing I'm going to be losing my time if I engage in man keeping. I really hope people look that up, but it's a new word bitches got. It's also man managing. Okay, becoming a man manager. And it's funny because it's the way that a lot of women are managing men. But I think unless there is something to get out of it for you, I can understand why some people do it. Like, I'm not gonna play. People were trying to drag Sharon Osbourne, and they were like, Ozzy tried to kill her, tried to choke her to death, and she still stayed. And in retrospect, I'm not trying to be funny, but after that long with that skeleton, yeah, and you had his babies. Yeah, you stay until the end so you get all the money. Yeah, you see all the paperwork. Cause see, you leave them and you don't get to see all the paperwork. And I feel like that's why she stayed. Meryl, hey, baby. I mean, Jo, I appreciate you for saying that. And listen, many like patriarchy is on our neck every day. So is it crazy that you hate men? Like I was really just sitting here thinking about how it's really not crazy anybody deep dark skin like hates any light skinned people or want to beat us up or like want to like punch us or like want to do anything like that. And I'm not saying that like that's what's happening. Don't do that. Because I've seen a lot of folks like talk about some, oh, black women are being aggressive to light skinned women. And I've seen a lot of that recently. And it's awkward because it's like in this moment, I actually see a lot of black women just not even bothering to engage with content that is about mixed or light skinned people because of them, us creating the stigma that like we're under attack or some shit. And it's like nobody's attacking us. People are wanting us to get the fuck away from them. And they're being really direct and clear. And so to make it seem like there's any harm happening, it's like, babe, your privilege is showing. And so maybe pipe the fuck down. But again, it's the ways that like I was sitting with the ways that like sometimes I'll see white people and I'll get mad as fuck. And I'll be like, why are you here? And it's the ways that I have to hold that like that's like part of like decolonizing is like sometimes I see white people and I'd be like, oh, whatever. And it's the ways that like being colonized means that we'll see colonizers and think that everything's just fine and it's okay. But it's like the more I decolonize, the more I'm just so annoyed whenever I see white people, especially in certain places, because it's just like, ugh. And it's the way that like they're so fucking sometimesy. Like there's so many moments where they're so fucking mean. I just have such a weird attitude. It's like we're both at the post office. Like, please calm down. Like, what the fuck? And again, it's like it doesn't matter. Like they can tap into what scares the rest of us whatever the fuck they want. Let any of us scare them. Now the cops are being fucking called. And fuck scaring them. Let them want to scare us, bitch. Like, that's it. Like, again, I have a lot of anti-white sentiment. And I know some people will think, like, how can you date a white passing person and hate white people or be annoyed at whiteness? And I feel like between me and you, as I've said before, whiteness isn't real. Whiteness is a series of behaviors. And even though we notice that there are people who are clear skinned that act a particular way, I think we all know that there are people of color who operate very white. And so, unfortunately for all of us, I think that like when we're around white people who are really invested in being white, it can be very much real that being around those people is like awful and dangerous and people don't want to be around them. I get that. However, I do want to hold that while I don't feel like my partner Dane is the best person on earth and they're so unlearning and decolonizing, like I don't feel like that. I do feel like they are paying attention to the ways in which they were performing as a mixed person to not be assimilating as white, but also holding the nuance of being a mixed person and looking white to someone. And so I'm trying to hold that as well, that like I'm not gonna say me and my partner are like good mixed light skinned people. Fuck no. but I think we're constantly trying to reappraise like things we've done, things we've done to fit in the tribal system of race, things that we've done to seem like we were a part of certain communities because we didn't know if we had one or we didn't know exactly where to go. And just again, the ways that me and him, despite looking very different, have a lot of similarities. And it's the ways that I met someone recently darker skinned who told me something that had me sitting with the ways that, yeah, my mom didn't really tell me about white supremacy that much, but it's the ways that I survived, right? But it's the ways that hearing from a deep dark skinned person who's like, yeah, them not telling me about racism and having to find out about it was really fucking jarring. And the ways that, like, even though I didn't know about white supremacy intricately or instinctively, it's the ways that, like, even like finding out, like, it still wasn't like, it wasn't like I was finding out that like something was so wrong with me or they were like showing depictions of people who look like me. Like it's a completely different experience. And I was grateful to hear the experience of this person because even operating like every black person knows what blackness means, that's not true. Like there are many black people in America who are brought up around people that may or may not want to tell them what's happened. And I think about how I told someone, I wouldn't want to have kids because I wouldn't want to have to tell them about rent. But real talk, I'm over here worried about telling kids about capitalism, totally not holding that, like, there's so much more to tell children. And yet, like, my focus was like, fuck, I would have to tell this kid that, like, all their labor equals can you pay rent? Can you buy food? If not, you're some kind of undesirable. Like, that's hard to try to explain to somebody. But try looking deep dark skin and trying to explain to your child who may look the same as you that like there's a devaluing that has nothing to do with you really, but it's something that you have to be mindful of and the ways that you may not want to do that shit. And again, the ways that like I'm trying to have empathy for like parents of children who have to tell them that. And again, it's the ways that we all should be told about white supremacy, but it's the ways that like black folks are seemingly held to a standard of like carrying on the truth of white supremacy, whereas white people are not. White people get to go to school and be like, oh, a long time ago, some white people that I don't feel connected to. Like, it's the ways that whiteness disconnects, but blackness is supposed to connect. And it's the ways that, like, white supremacy really asks of black people to unify in this way through pain and then let any black person like acknowledge that their story was not painful. People will really operate like there's something wrong with other black stories and the ways that like people expect black people to carry the pain through generation. And then what happens if they don't? What happens to that black person? And the ways that like there are black people who are finding out all the time with the rest of us like how anti-black the world is. I mean, I think judgment is part of it, but I think it's deeper than that. I think it's really white supremacy, unfortunately. Like, I think it always comes back to the narcissistic action of assigning people as subjugated, period. Like, you can't, in good faith, walk into a space where you don't know anyone and start saying, hey, you're ugly, you're fat. Like, literally, the colonizer walked into the room and said, hey, all of y'all, deep dark skinned people, there's just something about you that's lacking, and so I'm going to exploit that. Like again, it's the way the colonizer tells on himself. The more we decolonize, we can see that like there's no joy in telling someone that they're less than you. There's no joy in that. There's nothing but shame there. Why do you need that? We have to really hold that like if white people don't sit their children down and talk to them about white supremacy, they're actually abusing them. And so I want us to hold that there's ways that like some of us have been abused and we didn't realize that yet. And how white supremacy is abuse. What up, Karam? But it's the ways that like living with white people, being around white people, like it does require performance, and the ways that we've lied, perhaps, to be around privileged people, and the ways that we've maybe minimized ourselves, or even said things about ourselves that was not kind, just to be in the room, seemingly. And I just want folks to know, like, you're not crazy. You're not a weirdo. Like, we've all done something to be appealing to white supremacy, and I'm really hoping you know that you can stop today, bitch. You can. But I know that it's easier said than fucking done. People be expecting the performance. What up, Danitza? Word. And see, even saying that London, UK is racism is hidden. I think it's more that like the way like I'll say this. I feel like when people say racism is hidden or like anti-blackness is being hidden, I want us to hold that it's on us to like shine the light. Like if you ever feel like a system is like unfolding and like people don't see it, like it's on you to like lift it up or find people who are and lift them up, because again, like I refuse to believe that. Like as someone who's mixed and lighter skinned, like I absolutely used to think that like anti-blackness was like getting like there was less anti-blackness. I definitely thought that at some point. And it's the ways that like as I live, the more I see that white supremacy has just shapeshifted in a way. And like I try to tell someone, I'm like chattel slavery never ended. They just created the internet. And it's the ways that that's how I really feel, that like the internet really does distort like what's going on here. And also, like me and a friend talked about Obama today. I really don't fuck with Obama. I know some people really do, but I want to hold that like Obama is honestly, in my humblest opinion, like such a performance of what I think some people thought they wanted to see. And I'm glad we got that, because I want you to remember like the age of Aquarius started in 2011. So Obama '08, and so that's what 3 years before 2011. And so the beginning of Barack Obama's like career as a president was really fascinating to watch, because I don't know about you, but it felt like he came out of completely the clear blue sky and then all of a sudden he was everywhere. And it's the way that that takes money, you guys. Like that takes a lot of money. And it's the way that like we really should be focused on like who's being invested in, because it's the way that it's very clear that we were supposed to invest in Barack Obama as like some sort of like future of Black American prosperity. And it's the way that my friend really said to me, you know, Michelle was there to teach Barack how to sell it to Black Americans. And I was really fascinated by that combo, because it's the way that like before I was radicalized, like, and when I think about it, I remember talking in a live like a while ago about how I was in Clubhouse and how I heard Maya speak, and I was just like, whoa, like this is a Black person who really is saying something that I need to hear more of, because I really was sitting with the ways that like colorism was like a topic. Like people were absolutely talking about colorism very candidly. And I just remember like thinking to myself, damn, like more people need to hear this. And just watching from the sidelines, people dragging this deep, dark skinned woman for saying what is true. Like everything she's saying is true. She's not lying. She's being very gracious in her communication. And people were very upset. And it was an awkward thing to notice that, like, you know, when she's speaking, she has so much poise, so much elegance, and what she's talking about is awful to hear. But it's also just like I could not stop listening, and I was so grateful for her. But it's the ways that again, like we don't live in a world where like that happens. Like people will look at someone in a wheelchair talking about people who can walk and really think that they're being a hater, when it's like, bitch, they're literally living in a world that is set up for people who walk. There's not a lot of accommodations for them. Of course they're upset. And so I bring all this to say that like there are going to be people of color who really fucking hate white people and want to beat their ass. And I just really hope y'all know, like they're not wrong. Like we're not wrong, like for wanting to fight white people. Just like it's not wrong for some folks, especially deep dark skin folks, to be annoyed at us light skinned people. Like we are fucking annoying. And it's the ways ways that like no matter how much I may seem like I know stuff, I'll never know anything about being a colorist or a light skinned person. I rely on listening to deep dark skinned people and looking at my behavior and seeing if it matches up with what they're talking about. I want folks to consider that. Like when you hear people talking and you have privilege because you're oppressing them, it's important to consider ways that they're talking to you too. And it doesn't matter how much you might think that you're in the right or you're in the room so good or you're talking. It's not about that. It's about listening and continuously listening and not stopping to listen, not stopping listening because you hear something that really hits you. In fact, when you hear something that really hits you, that's a moment to maybe journal and write down what's happening for you instead of trying to make it that other person's problem. A lot of us would benefit from taking a moment to write down how we feel before we start and engage with people. Mm, mm. I'm glad you said that. We all love Meryl Streep because I shared a video about colorism, and there were people in the video that were Southeast Asian, and they were very clearly lighter skinned. But it's the ways that like white and light skin, and the ways that what people really mean. And I really hate how people use the term fair because at this point, I don't know what the fuck they're trying to tell me. Like it's very clear at this point. Like that word has no meaning. It just means not dark. Like it's very clear. That word just means not dark. That part. That part. But see, that's the thing too, is like there are Black Americans who wonder, can they really leave America and like be autonomous? And I think that's some Black Americans' fear is like, do I leave where I would actually see people who look like me and know what I'm experiencing versus And again, I'm holding that like there are some Black Americans who are afraid of like moving outside of America because like they worry about being colonizers. And it's the ways that like I really wonder like what I really wonder what intersectionality looks like for everybody because there was a time where I was listening to people who were saying that Black Americans were more privileged than Black folks in the diaspora. And then there were moments where I was thinking to myself that, like, that obviously is not true. Like, there are obviously going to be some Black people who have privilege in a way that when they leave America, it will be perhaps tripled. Maybe more than that, depending on what they're able to do out there. But just like not every Black person is struggling because of white supremacy in America, I think it's important for us to acknowledge that there's all types of stories of people leaving America. Just like somebody in here relocated to Mexico recently and has been telling me that white people are actively being pushed out of Mexico. I want you to know that like there are going to be moments where people are not comfortable with Americans being someplace, but it seems like they're more uncomfortable with white Americans than anyone else. So just putting that out there that there are places where white people are being asked to leave. So I want people to consider that like that is part of the climate is that there are white people being sent back to America begrudgingly. Between me and you, I feel like that's the point to keep as many white people here as possible. Listen, there are many white Americans running to different countries and mad that they can't speak English over there. Like it's very bizarre. But again, it's the way that a lot of countries are like, nah. They're like, we're not gonna do it. We're not gonna deal with this delusion. And it's awkward because it's like, man, like it's the way I've been trying to study all different types of languages just in case. Like I'm literally studying Spanish, Italian, Polish. I'm learning a little bit of everything, bitch, because you never fucking know. Like that's really where I'm at. Really don't know. There's no official language in America, believe it or not. There never has been. People think it's English because English is obviously a part of white supremacy, but they can't say that because there are so many people who don't speak English natively. They'll speak as much English as they need to get by. But there are a lot of people here who don't bother to speak English because they don't need to. Their communities here, they can speak their home language. And I want to just hold that as well. That there are some people who come to America and adopt, adopt certain ways of living for survival. Some people think that people aren't learning English because they don't want to talk to them. No, bitch. No, they don't want to lose home. I wish people would realize that. Can you imagine leaving America and being a native AAVE speaker and like now you're somewhere completely different and you hear people speaking your language? You're going to be grateful that you didn't give it up, that it's still there, that it's still living. Like there are so many moments where people communicate and it's very obvious why they keep speaking how they want to. That's what they needed. Korea and Japan don't even want to serve foreign people in their restaurants, regardless of race, because of white Americans. Yikes. And see, even that, like it's the way all the food content creators are making like Indian, Mexican, food in the Caribbean. Like it's just you ever just notice that all the food influencers like that be cooking, they never cook like some fucking it ain't never no Russian dishes, bitch. It'd be the Latinidad, Pan Asian. So fascinating how much they're obsessed. And unfortunately, because Asian people don't be talking, like it'd be making me sick how much Asian people do not speak. Like they really are like, just gonna see how this one goes. Like it's very much giving, we got our hands in the colleges and the hair store and the Chinese spot on the corner. No matter how it goes, we about to eat. Like it's very much giving no matter how it goes. It could go either way. We're gonna be just fine. It's really giving that, and like it makes me so sick because it's the way Mexican folk, Latino folk, been screaming for Black folk. They just finally started talking to Asian people, and it's funny as fuck because it's the way a couple Asians are like, "Yeah, we really do want to be white," and it's like, thank you." Like they calling you, answer the phone, bitch. At least tell the truth. If y'all want to be white, just say that. I wish there was a little badge they could put on their profile. Just say you want to be Caucasian so we know what time it is cuz it's very clear to me. Like and it's the way when we talk about skin bleaching, we really do focus the convo on Black Americans, but it's the way that the video I posted on Twitter was like the first time I ever really saw like Pan Asian people like talking about like their workforce, and it's the ways that like colorism is like written into like the work. Like they literally are like, oh, a light skin. They're like a light skin or white person works this job, and they're looking at this person who's light skin as fuck and they're like, you're too dark. And it's awkward because the person is like my shade and like they're saying that they're dark. And it has me like, well, what color are the people that are actually deep dark skinned? Because it's not her. And it's the ways that the society is actively like keeping itself white and then poisoning people with these skin creams. And it had me thinking about being young. And like I've always had like neck rings, I've always had hyperpigmentation. This is just part of my skin, apparently. I might also have PCOS. I don't know, but I've always had like a pancake neck. Always had dark elbows, dark knees, always. And I remember my mom buying me Noxzema, and I remember my mom telling me to put that shit on. And like, don't get me wrong, that shit stunk. I hated fucking Noxzema, bitch. I would leave the cap off and let that shit get hard because I hated it. I didn't like using it. And I feel like even now, like doing skincare like distresses me because I remember being a kid and thinking I gotta put this Noxzema on my face, on my neck, and it's the ways that obviously I wasn't intentionally thinking like, oh, the darker marks. When I say darker, I just mean the hyperpigmentation is gonna go away. But it was more like my mom's telling me like this is what I need. So I'm trying to do what I'm supposed to do. Jo, you're not weird for that. I wanna just be candid that like anyone who tries to make someone marginalized feel bad for trying to assimilate is the weird person because it's actually really understandable. And like I really hate the idea that we need to shame anyone for giving in to white supremacy. Like it's the way that I literally, like I show this all the time. I was letting wigs like rip my fucking hair out to avoid showing my natural hair. My edges are still not coming back. I would never shit on anyone for still wearing wigs despite the fact that they're clearly doing damage, because I know what that's like to think, if I don't wear this wig, are they gonna like me? I want to be candid that, like, as much as I'm trying to embrace my natural hair and do things that make me feel beautiful without putting any enhancements on, I'm gonna hold that there's gonna always be somebody who thinks a wig is how they gonna get it. And I'm not mad at you, because again, it's the way I got a wig for sex work, because I know what fucking time it is. As much as I like myself, it don't stop the world from being anti-black. It don't like, no, as I could define these curls all fucking day. That's not gonna change anti-blackness. And so I want to be candid that, like, I don't think anybody's wrong for doing anything to fit into this world. But I hope you know that, like, you breaking silence is a part of, is a moment to celebrate. That, like, you don't do that no more. That you find that weird. I'm proud of you. Because again, it's the ways that, like, you might not interrogate your behavior, even though it's harming you, even though it's not feeling good, but you know what you're getting from that behavior. And so it's a mind fuck. You're like, do I stop being accepted, or do I start to accept myself? I hate that that was ever on the fucking table, but it do be. So let's live in reality together. Let's not act like it's so crazy that somebody gave in to white supremacy. It makes sense. And I'm happy that you're not there. But listen, if so, like, but hear me out, hear me out. If somebody wants to bleach, we're not going to be able to stop them. And I'm hearing you wanting to stop them. I'm hearing you wanting to stop them. And obviously, like, there's all, like, it's just, it's the same convert. Like, I don't want to say it's the same. Let me not do that. But it's similar to the conversation about perming. Like, I have a friend right now who whispered to me that she was going to start perming, almost as if she expected me to be mean to her. And I was like, sweetie, if that's what's going to help you get through your day, if that makes your hair more manageable to you, who am I? Like, these are personal decisions that we make. And again, it's the way that, is it really? Like, do she have a lot of options? Is she a single parent? How much time does she have to devote to her hair? I'm not gonna play with anybody. I just washed my hair with braids in. I ain't never did that before, but I found out that you can do that. That you can braid your hair and then wash your hair and condition it with braids in, and it felt great. And I'm gonna do it again. And I love the result. I feel like my hair came out super defined and looking super cute. But between me and you, bitch, I think I'm about to lock high key. Just cause, bitch, have you seen Wix? Like, low key, Florida. I want Florida locks so bad, bitch. Oh my god, they look so beautiful. Like, I'm obsessed. Like, I'm about to be really annoying and post hella fucking videos of Florida locks. Cause seeing them wicks had me like, damn, bitch, they look so thick and cute. And I just want mini wicks. Like, I want like little fat chunky wicks, but I want them also like colorful. I don't know. I think I want pink hair, y'all. I keep saying it. We gonna see. I'm scared to bleach, but I really want to. But if I bleach, I'm immediately going to pink. Maybe. I might go to orange again. I might go to orange again, low key. Just because I feel like I cut my hair and it's at that weird mid length where it's like, I could tell by this time next year it's going to be looking how I want it to look. But I gotta get serious about moisture, and I keep on stimming and like ripping the fuck out of my hair. It's like really distressing me. So I think I might do a protective style for the meantime. In between time, like the next time I get some money, bitch, I'm really about to fucking do some faux locks just to get ready. Like, I want to do some faux locks, kind of like Wix, and just see how it looks, see if I like how it feels. But that's the thing about fucking doing fucking. It's like when you get locked for real, like it feels so light on your head, I'm sure. But it's the way that, like, I already know I want a lot of hair on my head, so I'm waiting till it's not so hot because I'll be dead. Um, Listen, Jo, I think that at the end of the day, like, being a whole mixed person is where I'm at. But I hear you on like getting around black folks and thinking that like you have some blackness to find. I think it's more realistic that you have a whole mixed identity to cultivate and hold yourself as a whole person and not a fraction. But again, does that happen overnight? Fuck no. It takes time to really question, like, what do you mean when you say that you're finding your blackness? What up, Jen M? I hope you're doing well. Donna Briggs, no, tell me more. We all love Meryl Streep. I have not heard a damn thing. But again, I want to just hold that like I don't care who you are, if you're bleaching or doing certain things to your body to look more assimilated to whiteness, whatever the case may be. I love you, and I'm sorry that it's going that way. But I'm really hoping you know that it's never too late to do something different. And if anybody doesn't accept you, tapping into how you really look, or knowing more about yourself, being more at peace, I feel like that tells you like they're not supposed to be around you. Like I really feel like the people that accept you, that make you feel easy to love, that's who you should be around. And so, but I know that's not easy, right? To get around people that know you deserve to be loved and cared for. I know that. So sometimes you're gonna have to walk out of a lot of rooms, walk away from a lot of relationships. You're not bad. You're just not accepting that. JL, I hear you on that. I hear you on that for sure. And I appreciate you for being candid about what happened and what's happening. But at the same time, like, the anti-blackness you've heard about, I really hope that you take some time to really unravel it. Cause I do think that some of us mixed people have valuable information about whiteness. Not the most valuable, but I do think that there are times where white people reveal themselves to us in a way that they wouldn't with black folk. Donna Briggs is the black woman who has bleached so much to where she looks like Sarah Oliver from Bad Girls Club. Well, people asked her, "Are you black?" She said, "No, people are lying on me. I used to tan." Damn. I actually found out that Exoticals United is actually a mixed woman who bleaches. And that's why she creates the content, or that's part of why she creates the content she creates. She's been bleaching her skin, and so she is obsessed with being lighter skinned. And like in her mind, she really thinks like being lighter skinned is synonymous with talking down to black women and treating black people a particular way and celebrating being lighter skinned as if it's an achievement, and the ways that obviously for her it is like bleaching and finally achieving the tone that you wanted. In some ways, like she's celebrating like what she's done. And I think about the ways that like being anonymous online, not having to show your face, it can really lead to people saying anything, doing anything, being anything. And it can be really terrifying to see that. But at the same time, I want to hold that like people who bleach their skin are not crazy. We live in a world that literally hates people who are black. And when I say that, I mean they hate deep, dark skinned people. And so their hatred may seem to be a little less the lighter you are, but it's not. It's actually really not. And so we have to operate as if like there's that anti-blackness is always a problem and not just a minor issue for us. Because with that being said, there are going to be moments where white people are absolutely inviting me places, entertaining me, but it's on me to check in with them about like what their standards are. It's on me to check in on that. And it's the ways that some of us will be so happy to be the token. And I don't want to play. I feel like I've been a token for a long fucking time. And I feel like that's part of like my journey as well, like realizing that I don't have that, realizing that I can't make somebody white racist, like realizing that it's not on anybody white, or it's not on me to like change my behavior to be around white people. It's on them to change their behavior to be around me. And like holding that as the reality that like I can't, that my behavior in standing up for myself, being confident, that's not the trigger for white people. Like that's not, or rather that's not the point of it. It's them being triggered and not sitting with why they are. And I can't do that work for them, and nobody black should do that work for them, let alone anybody mixed. Oh, you're not wrong, but it's also the ways that like we're able in our own minds. Like all of us here will see people and think things about them. And it's awkward because I think that that's the scarier part, is that as much as we can condemn it, we know what that's like. We all are lookist in ways. It's the way that, like, we'll look at a restaurant and be like, that place looks nasty. We don't even know if it is. Meanwhile, we'll see a place that looks really nice and it's actually disgusting inside, but how do you know? But it's the way that sometimes if something looks a certain way, we might assume certain things, and then we're all fucked up because we assumed, we didn't ask. Okay. Just for anybody here that was annoyed by that person D that was up in here, I want us to hold that there are going to be people that want to think that blackness equals struggle. And the truth of the matter is instead of like us trying to fight for anybody black who has money, anybody black who's excelling, let's just tell the truth that white supremacy has manufactured poverty, that white supremacy created the ghetto and placed black people in them, that no one is naturally found in struggle, that it's been manufactured. Let's focus on that more than anything. Because if we focus on that, we can actually see how not just black people are stuck in certain positions, that poverty actually is coming for all of us. And yet it paints a picture that that's where black people always live, which harms many black people into thinking that they may not ever be able to leave. When, if they were ever educated truthfully about why they are where they are, there would be more conversation about why white people are so afraid of black people excelling, why white people make it so that certain black people can't leave certain places, can't move certain areas. Why are white people throttling black excellence? If we had questions like that being asked, we could engage in good faith. But to make it seem as if every black person is struggling, when I'd rather focus on the fact that struggle is fake, that struggle is put here for us to engage with, that we're in a closed system, that this system is actually quite closed in the way that we're supposed to be afraid of the Middle East. The ways we think that because we're not covered head to toe and silent next to our man, we're somehow freer is the fucking trick. And so I really hope people consider the ways that we are absolutely in a dollhouse on a plantation, bitch, which means it's what? A big house. And we all got a place on it. And the more you focus on where you are standing on the global plantation is the most important thing. Some of us really are in the back houses. Sure are. Barely got any place to really lay your fucking head. Always got to run out there somewhere and go do some labor, huh? Some people are in the fucking house. Some people are in the big house and they don't give a fuck what happens outside of it. Some people are. And we just have to remember, where are you on this global plantation? Because it's going to tell you why the fuck you're doing what you're doing. Are you outside all day? Are you barely home? Do you even get to sleep? It makes sense why you do what you do. I don't know who Mr. Sharp is, but please tell me. It's dangerous. You're not wrong. But that's the thing about it, is like the Holocaust in Germany was only possible because Germany had already gone to Africa and committed these same acts. I just want us to remember that, like, there has always been black death before white death. White people have never been killed first. They're killed second. They perfect the system with black folk, and then they kill the white people they don't want anymore. And that's what's happening right now. They showed us with that black woman. I'm not sure what her name is. Please, someone help me. I'm so sorry. There are so many people being harmed right now. Please know I'm not trying to play anybody. But the black woman who was kept on life support to carry the baby, like that, if these white bitches don't think they're going to be laying on a gurney waiting to hatch, It's crazy the things that people will see happen and not think that's coming for me too. They were trying to make sure, can I still get the child to move? Can the subject still, is the seed still viable? They didn't care about that woman's life. They said, will the baby survive? They literally fed her body enough energy to carry the life inside. They did not worry about her. And it's awkward because the baby was born with all types of health defects. Why? Why? And now their CEOs gloating about hiring robots and getting robots to do the work and firing people. And I fear that we are in a situation now where if you don't have education, and even if you do, you are going to be facing trying to find jobs with teenagers. Like, I feel like every job that I've been trying to get, they're hiring people in their 20s. They're hiring skinny, white or light skinned people. High key. I have not went to any job recently, interview, and seen anybody fat working. Not one. Actually, I'm lying. But it wasn't an interview. I went to go eat somewhere. I went to this bakery and I seen they had hired two fat black girls. And I was like, I love to see it. But I wanted to ask them, like, are they paying you good? Because I only seen white people working there, and it seemed like they had hired some like Italian folk who like came from Italy for real, and like they were a part of the family, and like now they're trying to like maybe get, pay people cheaper labor. I don't know, bitch. But I did want to ask, like, what is it giving here? Because the sandwich is good as fuck. I'm sure. Mm. Exactly, exactly. And again, it's the way that, like, when we talk about white supremacy harming black people, we have to hold that there are going to be some black people who feel like they have been able to beat the odds. And again, the idea that odds are against black people, like, that is a part of the narrative of white supremacy. White supremacy is the odds. And so, with that being said, it's the way white supremacy creates the pain, the trauma, the stress, the struggle, and then expects every black person to have the same story. The idea that every black person is going to live the same life is insane. But the ways that white supremacy wants you to think that, and then the ways that someone could come up in here and be like, why are black people struggling? That's not the question. The question is, why are white people ensuring struggle? See, if we ask questions like that, then we would have to talk about the narcissism of whiteness, the creating someone to be your other, telling someone that they are the opposite of you. That is creating a soul tie. And the church love to talk about it when it comes to women fucking men. But when we talk about soul ties, like, we're talking about the ways that you attach yourself to something, that you need something to exist for you to exist. Whiteness needs blackness. They need it. It's the ways that I was watching a video of this black woman being very honest about how she hates blackness and how she hates being considered a darker skinned person. Not that she hates her skin, but that she hates the way that she has to show up on the plantation and perform a role that they're telling her she is. And again, it goes back to other conversations where I was talking about transness and the ways that people look at you and they're like, well, you're a girl. Well, you're a boy. And what does that mean now? Now that they think that, now that they said that, now that they told me that, what do I have to do now? And it's the ways that, what is the point of someone telling you you're black? What is the point of someone needing you to be that? What is the performance of blackness? And again, now we're getting into like black psychoanalyst. You know what I mean? Now we're getting into the black psychoanalyst conversation. And again, I'm hoping that the videos that I post in the comments below people engage with, because that's where these thoughts are coming from. From listening to black people who sit around and think about this stuff within their daily life. They're considering, like, why does the colonizer need me to operate this way? What does he get out of it? What does it mean to be black? What does that mean in the larger construct? Why do people need to be black? What is the function of that? That's a great question. But then again, it makes me think of Falassi Noor, the creator who created the video called Why Black People Are Crazy. The ways that, like, people think that you're unwell if you are a deep, dark-skinned person talking about this subject, because people really expect you to shut the fuck up and perform Like, this is great. And so, see, and even saying it's a spell, is it a spell or is it a lie? That's the thing about lies. They are a spell. I think lying is such a spell. Such a spell, bitch. I got lied to recently and that shit had me fucked up. I was mad as hell. Woo! I think it's just a lie, bitch. And the way the truth don't mind who tells it, it's like the way a lie. Ooh, lies can be so beautiful. Ooh, lies can be so masterful. Ooh, bitch. I've told some lies that were funny as fuck to me in retrospect, but in reality, like, that shit was spell work. Like, oh, fucking false realities, ho. Come on. Lovecraft, thank you so much for that. I didn't check that out. No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Like, white people really do think that black people own struggle. And so if white people are struggling, that like somehow somebody black owes them. Like, I see white people like just being so, they're so jealous. And again, there's nothing wrong with being jealous. Like, it's a normal thing to feel. But it's the ways that they won't handle that. They won't sit with that. They won't love that. They won't love that moment of clarity that they are jealous. It's a beautiful moment when you actually sit with why the fuck you're being a hater or why you're mad or sad. But I know some people don't want to hear that. I know some people think jealousy is so bad, but we're all gonna feel it. Like, that's the thing about it. That's the thing about feelings. We're all gonna feel them. They don't all feel good. You're not crazy. Oh, tell me more. We all love Meryl Streep because are you trying to tell me that it's like gonna suck me in, but I'm gonna be sad in the end? Because if so, just break my heart now. Like, low key, I'm not an anti spoilers bitch. I love spoilers between me and you. Like, spoil it. Like, tell me why it's whack to you, and I'll keep that in my heart when I watch it. Because I'm still gonna check it out. Because I kind of slept on it. I feel like I low key got caught up in Underground, and I feel like that kind of left me fucked up. And then Jussie Smollett did his weird ass shit, and I was like, Jussie, I want to beat your ass. It's that I wanted to beat Jussie Smollett ass so bad. Cause it's like, girl, like, us mixed people are mad annoying. Like, honestly, that was one of the most annoying things. It's like, girl, why did you do that? Like, it's the way that anti-blackness be unfolding. And I want to say that, like, after he did all that, anti-blackness started unfolding on him in a completely different way. And it was like, girly, and water is motherfucking wet, bitch. Like, they always need a scapegoat. Like, whiteness really needs somebody else. Again, whiteness needs the subjugation. They have to be perfect. They have to look at someone and say, well, at least I'm not them. That's the whole fucking point of it, bitch. Swear. It's the whole point of Christianity too. Well, at least I'm not burning in hell. That's it. It's a cope. It's a way to get by. Oh, I can't afford food, but neither can the black people. It's like, it's sad, but you'd be surprised what will fill somebody's belly up outside of food. Like, white people really eat on racism. Like, they love that. That shit is tasty to them. It's the way out of nowhere people just say the N word in the chat. You know, it's not nobody of color. Like, it's the way they literally need it everywhere they go. Oh, I didn't know Wunmi was in it. That's interesting to hear. I'm interested. But yeah, no, I'm definitely. I just feel like I don't want to give white people too much because I feel like even the idea of spell work. Don't get me wrong, there's white witches out here for sure. But white supremacy is a lie, bitch. It's a lie that a lot of motherfuckers told. We live in a time now, age of Aquarius. See, that's the thing. Age of Pisces to age of Aquarius. Some people still adjusting. Like, we're over 10 years into it. I want to say, yeah, 2021 was the 10-year. It was 10 years into the age, and the ages last like 250. Yeah, 25,000 years? Yeah, bitch, 25,000. I know you're shook. But yeah, no, it's a long thing. It's actually a major event, and that's the thing. 10 years into the age of Aquarius, and we're at 2021, and you already know that was crazy. And what is it, 2025? So we're 14. Yeah, 14 years into the age of Aquarius. Hmm. I want to say 14. Ooh. Hmm. That sounds very like I feel like I don't want to watch this alone. I feel like I'm gonna definitely hit up the Discord and see if people want to watch it, but it sounds like something to watch. Yeah, no, the chopping off the arm and the police. Like I was just like, ooh, because again, I remember seeing like little snippets of it and just being kind of like, just a little scared, honestly. Just a little worried about what they were trying to get me to see. And I think I heard about her turning into a white woman, and I think that's what kind of made me be like, nah, a bionic arm, okay. Yeah, I'm back. I'm back. CL, that's what I'm saying. I'm like the little videos about Lovecraft Country like actually had me a little bit disturbed. So I was like, I don't know, bro. And I don't even watch horror like that. I don't really like things that are a little too scary, but I think unfortunately, I think like given how white supremacy is actually terrifying as fuck, there's gonna be things that for like black folks, it's uplifting, it's gratifying, it's Afro surreal, it's Afro pessimistic, it's Afro uh futurist. So I'm trying to hold that too, that like there are so many layers to black identity and black art and media, and that like there are gonna be some things that may kind of give me the chills, might give me the pause, but it's actually something that, I probably did need to see or to experience or to witness. Hmm. 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 Yeah, no, again, I feel like I'm gonna ask the people if they want to do a let's watch. I wonder if anybody would be willing to stream it in the Discord just because I feel like my streaming sucks. I mean, it's not the best, but it's not the worst. But I'm thinking about that. I think if somebody would be willing to stream it, I think I'd be down to at least do 2 episodes. I don't know about you, but I hate watching one episode or something with people. I'd rather get two in just so that we can get a theme going, and that way, like, there's no cliffhanger for us. I mean, there probably will be on the second episode, but we'll at least get to get that first cliffhanger out. You like this scene where they stop white people from entering their house with witchcraft, and see, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm very interested. Like, I love anything with hoodoo, voodoo, spell work. I love it, but there was just something about the visuals. I feel like the same about Us. I want to say with Lupita. Same thing. I did not watch it. I think I'm lying. I think I eventually watched it, but it didn't hit for me. And maybe again, maybe I was too high. Maybe I wasn't watching it in community. Like I think some stuff should just be watched with others, just so that we can like hear from each other. Because again, I'm watching it and I'm just not sure of what I'm all seeing. And I think about how like some stuff, if you don't watch it with the right crowd, I just feel like some of us have gifts in seeing media. Like some people noticed that like the walls were blue and that that there was a a photograph above the fireplace, like things like that. I mean, it's more that like I feel like not unmoving, but unnerving, you know? Because again, like when we're talking about traditional white horror, which I think is very different, obviously, from even like Asian horror, but it's the thing, it's like, I remember in like going back to Hereditary, like that movie is scary as fuck because these are all very ugly white people. And like, I mean that with so much, yeah, I should have said redacted, but like they're all wild looking, and I feel like it's the ways that like nobody looks like no one's a star. Like you're very in it because it seems so real. Like it feels like these are real, regular ass people who are a part of something, and you're trying to understand, and they are too. And so I feel like that movie really speaks to like the white family dynamic and how none of them know what the fuck they're doing, but they all live in the same fucking house and the ways that like people of color don't live like that. Like whiteness is very individualistic even within a family. And the ways that like everyone had their own fucking agenda. Like the mother is like trying to foster a relationship between two siblings who don't have one. And like in doing that, enforcing it, they force the reality of the situation that the brother doesn't give one fuck about the sister and that like her about to die was the only time he really gave a fuck about her. And again, it's the ways that like that lack of care, that lack of support, that lack of community, it shows up. It shows up in so many ways in the white families, but like if they're, if it's just the ways that like we if we talked about how white people operate in homes, we'd see more clearly how they're all set up to be ops against each other and the rest of us. And again, it's the ways that that's what a lot of these therapists are getting paid to do. Wrestle these fucking folks in this one house who just hate each other, not realizing like we're all connected. Like whiteness isn't real, but your bloodline is, your ancestors are. Like it's the ways I really wonder if white people really think deeply about what they lost in connecting with whiteness, like what they're losing by maintaining it. But again, we're just talking, bitch. Not the sun was kind of fine. I mean, you know, damn, now I got snatched. Now I just got dragged by the light. That's crazy. Damn, let me put some respect on his name. I'll say this. I feel like he didn't look like the white family. I'll say that. I feel like that he had some melanin. I'll say that. He has some warmth in his skin. I just remember thinking like the brother don't look like he adds up to the rest of the family. But there's also a part of me that feels like it was intentional casting. Like it was very much giving like everyone's an outsider. No one's really connected in this family. Everything felt like disconnected. Nobody really loved each other. Nobody really cared. But they had to pretend like they did. They had to do all these gestures that showed that they liked each other, but they really didn't. And the ways that in the end, who paid for it, you know? And I feel like, again, because we know that it wasn't a casual thing, that like this was all planned from the beginning, it makes it, again, even more of a horror because it shows that, like, no matter what you do, even the effect, even like the aspect of like the son like getting high and ignoring his sister, it was very much giving like I'm really just focused on my pleasure and I don't really care. And don't get me wrong, going to a party and smoking weed, like cool, but like taking your little sister, like it just feels like he was forced to do something that like again, instead of going to the party, he really should have took her out to eat or something and hung out with her. Like in retrospect, right? Like that's what. But as an adult, that's what I'm thinking. But like when I was younger, fuck, if you made me take my brother to a party, would I look over it? Would I look after him? Would I really? And again, it's the ways that like I was raised by a fucking white passing like narcissist. So like yeah, no, I probably fucking wouldn't have taken care of him. I probably would have told him like nothing. I probably would have just went and just hoped for the best for both of us. Again, it's the ways that like whiteness is about disconnecting. Like whiteness is about taking on individuality to your detriment. It's about performing as if you are going to be the exploiter, not the exploited. And so I just wanted to hold that And see, even saying that the family is so demonic, it's like, was it the family? It's like, it's the way the grandmother actually set up a bunch of shit before she died. And it's the ways that, like, we're supposed to see that, like, this is all planned. This is all set up before you, as if, like, like the movie, like the show Harlots. There's a moment where Lucy is very upset at Margaret because she's like, "You've made me a whore. Like, I didn't get to choose my life. You decided I was a whore, and now I have to play this fucking role." And the ways that, like, sometimes your family really has a plan for you and really wants you to do something to benefit them, and you don't have a say. You're not even considered. You're not even in the fucking room. They've sold your labor underneath your fucking nose. And one of my friends was like, they were like, "You're lucky." They were like, "You're lucky you don't have to deal with your family." And in ways, I appreciate that take because I don't really hear that often. But there are times where I'm really grateful that, like, I don't have to pretend that I wanted to call somebody. I don't have to go anywhere out of state to perform like I'm a good daughter, a good family member. I don't have to do anything like that. My family actually pushed me out, and I'm grateful. Like, in retrospect, I'm so grateful because if they hadn't have done what they did, their rejection of me, like, really allowed me to, like, be loving and be abundant elsewhere. Like, I know that some people really do hate that their family be bothering them, but I hope that you see in ways that, like, some of these family members, they really don't know how to be a family member. Nobody really taught them. And so you're gonna have to teach them if you want to. Like, some of y'all are gonna have to tell your family member, like, "Hey, like, I actually set up my life so that nobody really bothers me too much. Like, I actually set up my life so that I focus on my pleasure. If you need me for something, like, let's talk about equity. Like, is there a dinner involved? Are you offering to pay a bill? Like, how are we gonna benefit each other? Like, consider that. And anyone that doesn't want to negotiate with you about how to show up for each other, they might be someone you gotta take space from. And there's nothing wrong with saying, "Hey, I don't like how I'm being treated. I actually want to be treated better." Is that possible? But I know that sometimes it's easier just to dip on people. Trust me, I've done it and I regret it. Like, I feel like I wish I would have gave people the opportunity to raise their standards for me. And so if I could leave you with anything, like, consider, what if they really love you? They just don't know how to show you the way that you want to see it. And so maybe ask them, are you interested in a conversation about renegotiating how we're showing up for each other? Because I actually am. I'm actually thinking about it a lot. I'm actually thinking about how we're showing up for each other, how we're being present with each other. I'm actually wondering, like, if you're interested in renegotiating. There's ways to say things so we can be curious with people and still allow them to say yes or no. And if they say no, it's hurtful, but does that mean they should be cut off? I don't necessarily believe so. I think in some instances, yeah. Like, I feel like if you're homeless or you need money for food and, like, somebody ignores you and they seen your ass asking them to, like, share a flyer, then yeah, I feel like depending on what the situation is, I feel like it's worth it. Like, I've definitely cut people off because they didn't share my GoFundMe, and I don't care. Like, in retrospect, I don't give a fuck. And I really wish I would have cussed them out, but I wasn't there. I wasn't there. But I feel like it's okay. And I know some people don't want to hear that. I know some people are not going to like that. And that's fine. You don't have to like what I say. I don't talk so you like what I say. I talk because I have feelings about things and I want to share them. And if you don't appreciate them, that is okay too. But if you are connected to somebody and they do not care if you live or die, like, I pray you get away from them, because there are people out there who know we don't need to compete for this. Like, there's no more competition. You see what these prices are giving. Wouldn't it make more sense for us to talk to each other and figure out how to fucking benefit together? It would. And so, with that being said, remember, there is a new world that is being built. And if you want to be a part of it, you have to remember to stay curious. You have to remember to be open to changing your perspective. You have to be open to being gracious with yourself. Because you can't be nice to people and treat people good if you're not doing it for yourself. You're going to be mad as fuck. You're going to steady be mad because you're going to be like, "Why the fuck I'm being so nice?" But bitch, where's the niceness for you? Like low key, I feel like some of us be giving away so much kindness that we literally be making ourselves broke inside, and then we really be mad as fuck that people are out here just lavish as fuck by our love. Please pour that shit back in. Give what you really have. Some of us only got a little bit of love left to offer other people. It's still tangible though. Like some of us are really giving our fucking last. And we should never be doing that. Like, I want you to know, like, you should never be giving your last to anybody. And I say that as a broke bitch who has done it a lot. And I'm tired. I'm tired of giving my last and acting as if like somebody owes me. They don't. If someone is in my life and doesn't understand that I can't give my last, that would be abusive to myself. To take from myself to make sure someone else is good when I'm not good. Like a lot of us don't realize, like, you are in poverty. That little $20 you're sliding around, you might need it right now. It's okay to say, I actually need more than that. It's okay. And I know some of us are scared to tell people we're broke. Babe, you're not alone. But please know there are people out there with disposable income. As a sex worker, I just want to put it out there. Everybody's not broke. Everyone's not broke. Everyone's not broke. There are a lot of men, especially in their 20s, who have a lot of money, a lot of disposable income, and it's crazy. And so, with that being said, I've already tried to tell people that getting into sex work is something that's saving my life right now. I know some people don't want to talk about sex work. That's okay. But if you're interested, there is a thread on my Twitter with sex work tips, and there's also a thread on my Instagram just in case. I'm not charging. I used to charge people for sex work tips when I first started. But now at this point, because I realize like sex work is literally what I'm gonna do till I die, because it's so easy to get money from men who want to fuck you. Like it's really crazy. Like it's really insane. Like how much men are willing to give you money just to talk to you. Like that's how lonely they are, bitch. Like a lot of them are paying for me just to be nice to them. Like this dude literally came to my house and brought me a bunch of food and didn't ask for anything. He literally was just my servant and he was loving it. And it was like, whoa, wild times. Anyways, though, there is so much happening. I know people are feeling like it's the end of times, but it's not. We just got a new world. We just got a new world to deal with. And I'm hoping that we realize like we have an opportunity to create something different. Some of us are seeing people who look like they're part of the new earth. I hope you follow them. Like I follow this one girl who does amazing natural hairstyles, and she got me so excited. Like actually, me and someone who was in the chat before, but I'm not sure if they're gonna be back in the chat. I hope so. But we had a conversation recently, and they sent me a video or a picture of someone who had turned their natural hair into a butterfly, and it was so beautiful, and it made me so happy because I just remember like thinking to myself, like, is that all there is defining curls? Is that all there is? Like I just remember getting so bored and just thinking like, damn bitch, it's defining curls or you know? And I just really wonder, like I really, really, really wonder like what are we gonna do like outside of this? Like it's like I understand why some of the girls perm. Like I understand why some of the girls bleach. I understand why some of the girls stay in braids. I understand. But just seeing this like younger black femme like sculpt her hair into like different letters and shapes, and it's just really cool to see that like there are so many folks, especially black people, who are like willing to show the fun and playfulness. No, right? No, honestly, I don't know. Like I said, he's very sparse with his words, but in my humblest opinion, like none of this matters to me. Like I feel like a white person being a slumlord, like tales old as time. Like I really don't care anymore. But I appreciate you for wanting to bring it up randomly. But we're like an hour past me talking about my housing and how it sucks. Let's move on, L. The family was so demonic they planned out every last movie from the daughter eating the nuts to her being decapitated. True. True, 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 true. Anyways, though, I'm a dip. I love y'all. Take care.